Round one. Fight!
You just gotta believe in your Pokemon and give it your very best.
Pokemon games are all about monsters fighting each other, so it seems like taking Pokemon out of the realm of turn-based combat and into the world of 1v1 fighting games was inevitable. I know I'm late to the party to be thoroughly exploring such a concept, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because sometimes we discover a new appreciation for games we initially passed on. So here's Pokken Tournament DX for the Nintendo Switch. This is an enhanced port of a Pokemon fighting game that was originally released on the Wii U towards the end of its life. You still play as a Pokemon trainer of sorts, but now you can have your Pokemon do all the attacking and dodging in real time, so less like Fire Emblem and more like Street Fighter. Within this concept, you and your partner Pokemon are competing to be the best that ever was, but there is also a running plot involving a mysterious trainer and her Shadow Mewtwo. But really, the whole point is intense, flashy Pokemon combat. Now, I did play the Wii U version before buying the Switch port. Essentially, the visuals between the two versions are the same, but still really good. The Pokemon fighters have great animations and designs which are complemented by colorful, flashy effects from all their moves. I love the look of the arenas too, as they offer great visual appeal for places to fight in, especially the Haunted House Arena and Halloween Arena. I think this game knows my weakness. I mean, if you care to glance at the humans populating certain arenas, they do look pretty cheaply made, like they're flat NPCs from the 90s, but they're easy to ignore thanks to everything else about the game that looks good. The sound design makes this game even more exciting. There's thrilling combat music fitting for each arena, along with strong sound effects for the combat. There's also full voice acting in the game. Admittedly, a lot of the voice actors don't deliver good performances though. Most of the line readings sound very amateur. But I love that the Pokemon have accurate sounds and voices. I know, crazy right? Pikachu actually says Pikachu instead of blurting out some Bit Crush sound from 1996. So what was Legends Arceus' excuse? The gameplay mixes 3D and 2D fighting mechanics because so much of the combat is shifting from one phase to another with powerful hits. You start off in full 3D space, but a hard hit shifts into dual phase, which is in 2D space, and then the right strong hit sends it back to 3D. On one hand, I kinda wish they stuck to 3D the whole time, but I have to admit the fighting is fun in both phases. The 2D phase feels a lot like Super Smash Bros, minus knocking opponents off the screen. But also like Smash Bros, this game even has Mewtwo, 2 versions of him. Speaking of playable fighters, the Switch version has more playable Pokemon than the Wii U version plus 2 DLC fighters. It's a nice variety of Pokemon that makes sense for this fighting game across different generations. Wait, who's that Pokemon? Pikachu Libre? Oh man, that's hilarious. I gotta use him. Vamos Pikachu, patearle el culo! Much like Smash Bros, you'll quickly figure out who your main fighters are. For me, they're the Bruce Lee-inspired Blaziken, the 4-armed Machamp, my spooky buddy Gengar, and of course, Pikachu Libre. There are also support Pokemon who charge during the fight and have different effects to help you in the fight. Depending on the set you choose, each support Pokemon has a straight-up attack, a disruption move to throw your opponent off, or a move to boost your stats temporarily. All useful assistance, and again, you'll figure out which ones work best for your strategy based on how you like to fight. Along with the normal battles are tag battles where both teams get 3 Pokemon. When one gets KO'd, you swap out the next one until a team runs out of Pokemon. It's a good way to play as more Pokemon at a time, and it's a gameplay style that'll be familiar to fighting game fans and traditional Pokemon players alike. The tutorial is very thorough at teaching the combat controls, and there's enough variety in the controls and the moves for fighting to not feel too easy, but it's still easier to learn than most core fighting games. All of this leads to a very thrilling fighting game, which of course means fun multiplayer. There's online multiplayer just like the Wii U version, but I think at this point no one's playing online anymore, so I wasn't able to test how well it runs. However, there is local 2-player which has split screen, but it's very awkward split screen to give both players the same screen effects of how the camera sticks to your fighter in single player. Plus the frame rate is noticeably slower in split screen. To avoid this issue, there is the option of playing on a single screen, but it forces the second player to be further away and have to adjust. Alternatively, there is wireless multiplayer across 2 switches so both players can have their own screen and play at the smooth 60 frames per second the game normally runs at. But obviously that means the second player has to own their own Switch. Although that might not be too much of an ask these days given how well the system sold. So how about the single player options? Well, aside from playing single matches against customizable bots, there are single player league battles. They are fun for the fighting, but can feel like a slog because of how many competitors you have to fight just to get to the tournament of each league. Also, since all the stages, costumes for your coach Nia, and Pokemon are already unlocked from the start, there is less motivation to play through the league matches. unless you really want to unlock all the leagues, unlock clothes for your human character, earn XP, and see the game's story. But on that note, XP can be used to boost your Pokemon's stats how you choose, which does help in online battles and the harder league battles. I focused on the strategy part mostly so that the charge times for my support Pokemon could be reduced. These days, physical copies of this game are unfortunately hard to come by, but it's still available on the eShop for $60. I do think it should go down to $50 or $40 given its age, but if it ever goes on sale, I'd say it's worth getting for Pokemon fans who also happen to like fighting games. Well, that's my review of Pokken Tournament DX for the Nintendo Switch. To help me produce more videos like this, please support my Patreon page. Special thanks to my current patrons here. Remember that supporting my Patreon gets the name of the credits and access to my main videos a day early. Also check out my previous reviews of these other Pokemon games on the Switch, New Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Legends Arceus. See you all next time!